after months of preparing for one of the most anticipated fights of his career. From being threatened of getting disowned if he lost to dealing with Jake Paul constantly getting in his head, Tommy Fury has finally emerged victorious against the social media star. But how did the fight play out? The fight had managed to gain a lot of attention and had a lot of hype surrounding it. Paul and Fury are both pretty famous with younger audiences, with Paul having a large following due to his previous YouTube career, and Fury being a reality TV star. Not to mention, he's also boxing legend Tyson Fury's younger half-brother. Being a heavyweight champion sibling may come with its pros, but it also means some extra pressure piled onto his shoulders, and Tyson wasn't planning on seeing his brother lose anytime soon.
We are nearing the end. Overhand right, that was blocked as Fury responds.
Because the 34-year-old had shaken hands with Tommy on an agreement if he lost, and the terms weren't exactly something to be taken lightly either. The two had settled on a deal that Tommy must retire and stay in Saudi Arabia. If he lost the fight against the YouTuber, he would have to shut down his entire career just because of a grudge match. The stakes were really high for Tommy. He would have basically had to give up boxing, and Tyson was ready to wave him goodbye. So the 23-year-old's entire career was in a fragile position, and this one match would have determined it.
Fury 70 of 230. They both start off.
After the two had constantly been hurling insults at each other, just straight out venting their fury verbally, with Paul even leaking the news and mocking Tommy's newborn daughter. The day finally arrived when the two could finally put some worth where their words are, and they gave it their all. But ultimately, Fury secured the win. Having his entire career on the line, Fury came out far more aggressive than the crowd had seen him before. He was done messing around, and he was ready to settle the score once and for all.
It's what happens when you have guys that styles make fights, and
He bulldozed straight into Paul right from the opening bell, which led quickly to the first clinch of the fight. And as the fight went on, those clinches took up a significant part of the bout. Both fighters were trying to break their opponent's rhythm, trying to create a reset to get some distance between them. But with pent-up aggression leading to the fight, the two pressed on. The clinching was excessive enough that the referee had to play a bigger role as the fight progressed, and soon the referee had had enough. After issuing multiple warnings, the referee deducted a point from Paul in the 5th round. He evened it out by taking a point from Fury in the 6th.
Jake Paul, left hook, that's set.
And he can deliver some of his own.
Fury threw some solid jabs throughout the fight, constantly nipping Paul in the face and keeping him from gaining range. Paul wasn't holding back either. He continued to fire back and at his own stretches when he was able to gain on Fury. But heading into the last round, it seemed Fury would be up higher on the scorecards. If Paul wanted to flip the table, he would have had to deliver something dramatic. And he did. He shot a perfectly timed left hook, knocking Fury off balance enough that he touched the floor. But he wasn't really hurt and fought till the last bell. It brought the last few moments the extra drama it needed. Despite hitting the deck in a knockdown, Fury took the split decision by 2 cards of 76-73, with one card reading 75-74 for Paul. But it seems like someone wasn't happy with that result.
That knockdown, he didn't just let that round go away. He said, I gotta stay in here and I gotta win this fight.
In fact, Paul demanded a rematch, and here comes the drama. Paul had his plan secured way before the match. He entered the ring with a rematch clause already written down, should Fury manage to pull it off, and he was quick to take it up. Right after the fight, Paul acknowledged Fury's win and followed that up with clear intentions of taking him up for another match. He paid his respects, but said that he did not agree with the scorecards and that he deserved a rematch. He'll take the loss, but now he's ready for Paul vs. Fury Part 2. Tommy was overcome with emotion. He talked about how this fight had consumed his life for the past 2 years.
Warning about punches around the back. Oh, that's another terrific shot.
It was constantly being delayed, once because he had a broken rib, and the second time because he was denied access to the US. He also stated that everybody thought he was scared and making excuses, but now he's made his own legacy at his first main event at the ripe age of 23.
That fight, Tommy, don't stretch your feet, keep moving. And don't...
So much for that prediction from both.
He didn't back down from Paul's call for a rematch either. The match came with a lot of attention and nerves, and the two rising stars had a lot of pressure to uphold their reputation. Fury undoubtedly had a lot of burden to carry, seeing that he comes from a family of boxers. He announced that after defeating Paul, he was only gonna keep rising through the ranks. It seems like he won't be hanging up his gloves after all. But what do fellow fighters have to say about the showdown? The fight, titled The Truth, gained massive reactions even as it was going on.
Find the victory for him.
Yep. I fought Errol Spence Jr. Everybody said you slipped. I knew I didn't slip.
With everyone throwing in their opinions left and right, Twitter was basically a live commentary session. Many fighters, including Brazilian MMA artist Gilbert Burns and sports analyst Michael Chiesa, were on Paul's side. After noticing that Paul was holding his own in the match, people started accusing him of fixing the match. But Chiesa wasn't having any of that. He posted on Twitter that people need to get over it and face the fact that Paul could fight. He also said that the public didn't seem to understand the serious consequences if you get caught in a fixed match. One could face lifetime bans and even possible jail time. While there were mixed reviews during the match, many took to Twitter to congratulate Fury and applaud the two on their efforts.
I've been saying it all week. And it's about who gets who first.
Under 30 seconds.
MMA artists Billy Quarantillo, Aljamain Sterling, Jimmy Manua, and more credited the two for delivering a great fight. Even Derek Brunson commented that he was sure a rematch was gonna take place. While most of them commented in good spirits, Stephen Thompson, aka Wonderboy, and Dylan Dennis criticized Jake Paul, saying he must be regretting his bets at that moment, while Dennis took on a more aggressive approach, slamming the YouTube star by saying he should never even speak his name again. Yikes! And the public didn't have a pretty reaction as well. They took the internet by storm following the match, since Paul is an internet personality turned boxer.
Some decent combinations and has done it from time to time. Just haven't been.
He's got a lot of enemies. Many think he should just stick to social media, while others think he doesn't have what it takes to survive in combat sports. And after losing against Tommy Fury, he's just given his haters a solid reason to attack him. And what doesn't help is that this was his first time fighting an actual boxer, one that handed him his first defeat.
So much for that prediction from both men, stating the fight will not enter the fifth.
So, as you may have guessed, the internet snatched that opportunity up and ran along with it. A lot of people commented on how Paul's defeat was only a matter of time, considering he refuses to take up actual opponents. Hey, their words, not mine. But yeah, there was a lot of dissing and slamming Paul, shaming him for being all talk and losing against the first real boxer he went up against. As for Tommy Fury, the internet was all smiles. But that was more influenced by their hatred for Paul than their support for the Love Island star.
They were in the first fight, Al. There's more drama, more action.
Either way, with Paul slamming down the rematch clause, it seems like this whole fiasco is yet to come to an end. And with that, that was how pro fighters reacted to Tommy Fury destroying Jake Paul. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.